Chapter 6. Unraveling the Intrigue. Part 1. Ha moved through the labyrinthine corridors of the Duke's manor with the grace of a shadow, her steps silent and purposeful as she navigated the treacherous waters of aristocratic society. With every passing day, her resolve to unravel the tangled web of intrigue that ensnared her grew stronger, fueled by a burning desire to uncover the truth hidden beneath the facade of opulence and privilege. In the dim light of the study, Yoon-ha pored over the meticulously kept records and ledgers that lined the Duke's shelves, her brow furrowed in concentration as she searched for any clue that might shed light on the dark secrets that lurked beneath the surface. Each document was a piece of the puzzle, a thread in the intricate tapestry of deception that threatened to tear her world asunder. But amidst the sea of names and figures, one name stood out like a beacon in the darkness, that of the Duke's closest confidant and advisor, a man whose influence extended far beyond the walls of the manor. With a sense of determination burning bright within her, Yoon-ha set out to uncover the truth behind the enigmatic figure known only as Lord Sebastian. Through discreet inquiries and whispered conversations in the darkest corners of the manor, Yoon-ha pieced together a portrait of a man shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Lord Sebastian was a master manipulator, his fingers woven into the very fabric of aristocratic society, pulling strings with a skill that bordered on the supernatural. But as Yoon had delved deeper into the shadowy underworld that lay hidden beneath the glittering facade of high society, she began to uncover a truth far darker than she could have ever imagined. Lord Sebastian was not merely a loyal servant to the Duke, he was a puppet master, orchestrating the downfall of those who dared to oppose him with a ruthless efficiency that left no room for mercy. With each revelation, Yoon-ha's resolve grew stronger, her determination to expose the truth burning like a beacon in the darkness. But she knew that the path ahead would not be easy, for Lord Sebastian was a formidable adversary, his reach extending far beyond the confines of the manor. And yet, despite the ever-present danger that lurked around every corner, Yoon-ha refused to be deterred, for she knew that the pursuit of truth was a noble endeavor, one that demanded courage and conviction in the face of adversity. Armed with the knowledge gleaned from her clandestine investigations, Yoon-ha set out to confront Lord Sebastian, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. For she knew that the fate of not only herself, but of all those who called the manor home hung in the balance, and she would not rest until justice had been served. And so, as she stood before him in the dimly lit study, her gaze steady and unwavering, Yoon-ha knew that the moment of reckoning had finally arrived. With a voice as cold as steel, she uttered the words that would change the course of their destinies forever. "Lord Sebastian," she said, her tone measured and resolute, "I know the truth, and I will not rest until it is brought to light. Your reign of terror ends here." Chapter 7. A Dangerous Dance. Part 1. Ha moved through the opulent halls of the Duke's manor with the grace of a dancer, her every step a careful calculation in the dangerous dance of aristocratic society. Each day brought with it a new set of challenges and obstacles, as she struggled to conceal her true intentions behind a mask of compliance and obedience. In the grand ballroom, the air was alive with the sound of laughter and music, as the elite of society mingled and danced in a display of wealth and privilege. Yoon-ha moved among them with practiced ease, her smile fixed in place as she exchanged pleasantries with her fellow guests. But beneath the facade of aristocratic splendor, a storm brewed, threatening to engulf her in its turbulent wake. For she knew that with every passing day, the weight of her secret burdened her soul like a stone around her neck, dragging her deeper into the treacherous currents of deception and manipulation. As she made her way through the crowd, Yoon-ha's mind raced with 1,000 unanswered questions. How long could she maintain the carré before the truth came crashing down around her? And what price would she pay for daring to defy the powerful forces that held sway over her fate? But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a glimmer of hope flickered in the darkness, the promise of redemption, of justice served and wrongs righted. With a steely resolve burning bright within her, Eun-hye vowed to stay the course, no matter the cost. And so, Chapter 8, the charade continues. In the hallowed halls of the Duke's manor, Park Won-hye moved with the grace of a swan, her every movement a carefully orchestrated performance in the grand theater of aristocratic society. With each passing day, the weight of her secret burdened her soul like a heavy cloak, threatening to suffocate her beneath its suffocating embrace. As she played the part of the dutiful wife, her heart ached with the knowledge of the impending tragedy that loomed on the horizon. The Duke, oblivious to the turmoil that raged within her, showered her with gifts and praise, his affections a hollow echo of the love she craved. But amidst the charade aristocratic privilege, a flicker of hope burned bright within her, the promise of solace and companionship in the arms of her beloved. For though their love was forbidden, it was a flame that refused to be extinguished, burning bright amidst the darkness that threatened to consume them both. In the quiet hours of the night, when the manor lay shrouded in silence and the world outside faded into oblivion, Eun-hye sought solace in the arms of her beloved, their clandestine meetings a balm to her wounded soul. They would steal fleeting moments of happiness together, their whispered words and tender caresses a testament to the depth of their love. But even as they clung to each other with a desperation born of necessity, the specter of impending tragedy loomed ever closer, threatening to tear them apart forever. For theirs was a love that dared not speak its name, a fragile flame threatened by the cold winds of fate. And yet, amidst the turmoil and uncertainty, Eun-hye refused to surrender to despair, for she knew that their love was a force to be reckoned with, a beacon of hope in the darkness that surrounded them. As she lay entwined in her lover's embrace, her heart beat with a fierce determination to defy the odds and carve out a future for themselves amidst the chaos and uncertainty of their world. For though the path ahead may be fraught with danger and hardship, she knew that together they could overcome any obstacle that stood in their way. And so, as the night gave way to dawn and the first light of morning pierced the darkness, Eun-hye clung to the fleeting moments of happiness they shared, knowing that their love would be enough to see them through the darkest of times. For she was Park Eun-hye, and though the world may conspire against them, she would fight tooth and nail to protect the love that burned bright within her heart, even as the charade of aristocratic society threatened to tear them apart. Chapter 9, A Glimmer of Hope. In the dimly lit corridors of the Duke's manor, Park Won-hye moved with a sense of purpose that belied the turmoil that raged within her. With each passing day, the weight of her secret burdened her soul like a heavy chain, threatening to drag her down into the depths of despair. But amidst the shadows of aristocratic society, she discovered a glimmer of hope, a potential ally who shared her desire to defy the cruel machinations of fate. It was a chance encounter in the servants' quarters that first brought Eun-hye into contact with the young maid, a girl named Soo-jin whose eyes sparkled with a fire that mirrored her own. Though their stations in life could not have been more different, they shared a common goal: to rewrite the ending of their story and reclaim their destinies from the hands of fate. With each whispered conversation and clandestine meeting, Eun-hye and Soo-jin forged a bond that transcended the boundaries of class and privilege. Together, they plotted and schemed in the shadows, their minds aflame with the possibilities that lay before them. But it was not without risk. For even as they conspired to defy the powerful forces that held sway over their lives, they knew that their every move was watched with a keen and calculating eye. The Duke's spies lurked around every corner, their ears attuned to the whispers of dissent that echoed through the halls of the manor. And yet, despite the ever-present danger that surrounded them, Eun-hye and Soo-jin refused to be deterred. For they knew that the path to freedom was paved with sacrifice and hardship, and they were willing to pay whatever price was necessary to achieve their goal. As they huddled together in the darkness of the servants' quarters, their minds raced with the possibilities that lay before them. With Su Jin's intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the manor and Eun-hae's keen intellect and resourcefulness, they knew that they had the power to alter the course of destiny and rewrite the ending of their story. And so, with a sense of determination burning bright within them, they devised a daring plan to defy the Duke and his cruel machinations. It was a plan fraught with danger and uncertainty, but they knew that they could not afford to falter now. With each passing day, they moved closer to their goal, their resolve unyielding in the face of adversity. And though the road ahead may be fraught with peril, they knew that together they could overcome any obstacle that stood in their way. For they were Park Eun-hae and Su Jin, allies in the shadows, united in their quest to reclaim their destinies from the hands of fate. And as they stood on the brink of a new dawn, they knew that their journey was far from over. But with hope in their hearts and fire in their souls, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that they would emerge victorious in the end. Chapter 10. The Price of Rebellion. In the labyrinthine corridors of the Duke's manor, Park Eun-hae and her ally, Su Jin, moved with a sense of purpose that belied the turmoil that raged within them. With each passing day, their resolve to defy the established order grew stronger, fueled by a burning desire to reclaim their destinies from the hands of fate. But as they set their plan into motion, they soon discovered that the path to freedom was fraught with formidable obstacles at every turn. Their rebellion against the aristocratic hierarchy drew the ire of those who held power, and betrayal lurked around every corner, threatening to undo their fragile alliance. It began with whispered rumors and sideways glances, as the other servants of the manor grew suspicious of Eun-hae and Su Jin's clandestine meetings. Though they had taken great care to conceal their true intentions, the Duke's spies were everywhere, their ears attuned to the slightest whisper of dissent. As tensions simmered beneath the surface, Eun-hae and Su Jin found themselves walking a tightrope between loyalty and betrayal. Each step they took brought them closer to their goal, but it also increased the risk of exposure and retribution. And then, just as they thought they had gained the upper hand, disaster struck. A trusted servant, bribed by the Duke's spies, betrayed their plans to overthrow the established order, and chaos erupted within the manor. With the Duke's forces closing in around them, Eun-hae and Su Jin knew that their time was running out. They had come too far to turn back now, but the price of rebellion was higher than they could have ever imagined. As they fought tooth and nail to stay one step ahead of their pursuers, Eun-hae and Su Jin found themselves grappling with the harsh realities of their situation. They had dared to defy the powerful forces that held sway over their lives, and now they were paying the price. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a glimmer of hope burned bright within them. For they knew that they were not alone in their fight against tyranny, and that their allies would stand by their side until the bitter end. With each passing day, the stakes grew higher, and the risks more dire. But Eun-hae and Su Jin refused to surrender to despair. For they knew that their rebellion was not just about reclaiming their own destinies, but about paving the way for a better future for generations to come. And so, as they faced down their enemies with courage and determination, they knew that their struggle was far from over. But with hope in their hearts and fire in their souls, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that they would emerge victorious in the end.